Hey, good morning from 321. Stevie Bear here. A moment of peace amongst the chaos. Just wanted to share a quick Yule / Christmas miracle, if you will, while we have a few moments. Let's see, I think the last video we were on the train headed into New York City on December 17th. No, it was December 16th. We had our December 17th meeting with the FLS, which is the place in the United States, for sure, at least on the East Coast, and I think overall in the United States, where the French Embassy has made arrangements. They've sort of passed off the work that you used to do at the French Embassy to the FLS, and that's where you now go to turn in your paperwork, do your biometrics, your pictures, and go about the work of getting your visa. So the thing about your visa is you cannot get your paperwork done. Tosh, shush. One of the three big dogs, Tasha. You cannot get your visa until you have your lease, at least a 90-day lease. And in France, simple to get a lease with the dogs. One thing they don't tell you until you get there and get started in the process is that there's a lot of hoops landlords have to jump through in France to be able to lease. They have to do all kinds of inspections that they have to, include up front in the lease listing. So when you get your lease listings in France to look at, they'll have all kinds of things like, how energy efficient is the house, and, it's been inspected, and there'll be all this additional information that we really don't see here in the States. So you'll have this information, and it's nice to have, but because of some of this stuff, they also have to insure the house, and you as a lease tenant will be required to have insurance also, not just on your belongings, but on the house. And it's not expensive, terribly expensive. I think we're paying $30 a month, and that covers the house for our use, and it covers your belongings as well. So, but there are several companies that insure the owners for tenants, and there is one very large group that insures owners, and they only insure them if the money from the tenants is coming from within France. So if you don't earn your money in France, they won't lease to you. This is a big problem for those of us that are immigrants moving to France. Sometimes if your portfolio that you put together, and it is a portfolio of a lot of information, very different from renting in the U.S., if your portfolio stands out enough and you have enough financial backing to show in that portfolio, sometimes the owners will cancel that insurance and accept you as a tenant and then put in place a different kind of insurance. And that is what happened in our case, and we're very, very grateful for that. So we were able to secure a lease, a year-long lease, because if you remember, we talked in the past about we've already moved 4 times in the last 18 months. This will make a 5th time, and we know at the end of this year-long lease, because it's not exactly where we want to be, we're going to move a 6th time, which will make 6 times in 27 months. And that's a lot for us and for the babies. So we're looking forward to getting into a 3-year lease where perhaps we can stay even longer or purchase after that. So yeah, it was quite a trick to tie down that lease. And it took us much longer than we ever thought it would. And we did not get that lease tied down till the first part of November, which meant when we called to get our appointment, it was rather late in the year, and we couldn't get an appointment for our visa until December 17th. Our plane leaves January 14th. It usually takes a month to get your visa. You can, December 17th to January 13th is not a month, and there's a bunch of holidays in there. We weren't sure what was going to happen. We were worried. You can put a rush on it, but even with the rush, and you pay for the rush. It's not terribly expensive, but you do pay for it. But even with the rush, they say about 2 weeks, and you go from December 17th. You count out 2 weeks of business days minus the holidays, and that put us right at the day we were leaving town. We were worried. A little bit. Yeah. And we were sad that we were going to spend our last holidays here, not just alone with not much in the house, but worrying. And so we kind of got comfortable with it and just accepted it and eased into it and went about our business. And then, almost like magic, we got back home on the 17th from our visit, our quick trip into New York and back, 36 hours, quick turnaround. Fastest I've ever been to New York and back. Saw nothing but the FLS office and our brother and sister-in-law, which was terrific. But it was a very quick turnaround. We got back on the solstice on the 21st. Amy and I both received emails from the French consulate saying that they had sent an overnight package out to us to expect an overnight package. And we thought, oh no, it's only been 4 days. Certainly, we hoped there was nothing wrong. We'd hoped if there was something wrong, they would at least call us instead of sending something to us. So, of course, we were a little bit worried. Once again, it was an overnight package. It did not arrive on the 22nd. They sent an apology saying FedEx had been backed up. Okay, it's the holidays. They hoped it would be to us the next day. Nope, did not get to us the 22nd. And on the 23rd, they were backed up again. Apologies. It will be delivered on the 24th. Really? Christmas Eve? Christmas Eve day? We weren't too sure of that, but we were hopeful. We still didn't know what was in it. We were hoping that it was the visas, but we had no idea. Christmas Eve morning came. We got notice of a friend's passing. Made us even a little bit sadder. It was a strange holiday. And then there was a knock on the door. I looked out the window, FedEx. Amy jumped up. There was 2 envelopes. She took them. We looked at each other for a moment, opened the envelopes. It was our visas. We were elated. The holidays were saved. We were still alone in a somewhat empty house with our babies, the 3 big dogs. But we were elated and grateful and reminded of what we were doing, why we were doing it, and that it was almost here. And now it's really almost here because we made it through the holidays and we're only about a week away from leaving. Yeah, it's getting real crazy now. We're selling the car this week, packing up the last bag, and we're about ready to roll. So stay tuned. Things are going to get real interesting going forward from here because, we're going to France. Stay tuned. Thanks for being here.